Hey guys, Justin with Ready Business Systems. I'm just back for part 3 of our client intake form. Part 1, we did building out the form itself that you see here. Part 2, we went through creating tags and custom fields and putting that into that form. And on this tutorial, we're going to be going through building the automation that connects all this stuff together. So when we built this form, all it did was, it's a form in the account. It can be filled out and you can access it if you need to. By adding on part 2 and creating the tags and custom fields, now when that form is filled out, the information is not just visible on the form, but on the account level, inside the custom fields and in the tags area, it's going to have tags based on what they put in the form, and the custom fields are going to be updated based on what they put in that form. So if I were to go to, just to give you an example here, if I were to go to the dummy, we have a dummy account here. And I can show you the tags area here. So if they filled out that they have a dog, it's going to add that tag here, for example, in that form because we did that part 2. And the custom fields would be down here under show details, and you'd be able to see these custom fields pre-populated with information from the form based on where we're at now. So the last part we're going to do is we're going to set this up to actually go out to our customers through automations. So we're going to go to marketing automations. And we're going to go inside of, let me see where this makes sense, scheduling financial estimate request. I'm going to put it probably in 2 places because for estimate request, we want this to go to clients as they come into the system and they add their, when they accept an estimate, we want them to be sent this intake form. We also are going to do a one-time blast. So we have a temporary one here, temp, and this is where we do one-time blast because this isn't going to happen again. It's just to update our existing clients. So here's the inside of our estimate request portion of our RBS03 here. Okay, so estimate form completed. So at the moment we have our contact form on the website. So when that's filled out, this is essentially an estimate request coming in. All right, sorry, it's actually in our RBS03C part here. This was RBS03 estimate request. We're actually put it in our new lead sequence, which is inside our scheduling automation. So estimate accepted lead, this is where we're going to want to put it in here. This is where we send a welcome email out to new leads when they join and they sign up. We send a new welcome letter here. So I think what I'm going to do is in this welcome letter, I'm going to ask them to fill out this form. And I'm building this live, so I'm thinking about this as I do it, but now that I say that, that's actually not going to work because you can only have one form inside of each email, and right now we're already asking them to update their credit card. So probably after they update their credit card, in that sequence is where we're going to ask them to fill out this intake form. All right, so after looking through this, I think I'm going to create a new sequence here. So we're going to put this in for leads only because when a lead updates a credit card, this is when we want this to happen. We don't want to allow reentry, because we only want these new leads to get this once. The intake forms can be sent once. So, excuse me, I'll name this lead intake form, right? So only leads can enter it. The trigger is going to be credit card was updated. So the reason why this is important is we don't want to resend this. If we allowed reentry here, this would mean that they fill out the form, they're a client for a year maybe, and then then their credit card expires, they update it again. We don't want them to ever re-enter this. They're only going to go through the sequence once ever to do the onboarding. So lead intake form, the start is going to be the credit card was updated. And for a stop here, we're going to do form was completed, right? Has completed form, and this is going to be the form that we just created, the intake form. So if they've ever ever filled out this client intake form, if they've ever filled this out at any point, if it's already been filled out or they fill it out due to this follow-up process, then it's going to stop this automation in its tracks and not get any more contacts. So lead intake form. So now this form's completed, right? New leads only. So new lead comes in, they update their credit card, right? So it's going to be sending this to them. And it's going to be asking them to fill out this form, welcome them aboard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a form email in here, right? And this email is going to be called intake form request. This is going to come from the company email. It's going to be sent to the client. Email category, we'll do critical communication. We'll probably send this, during the day. We don't want to approve the email. And then the form is going to be this credit card update form. Excuse me, not this one. It's going to be the client intake form. So that's going to be what's attached when you put form link on here. Save. So I'm going to go in here, and you can create these in the document editor. They do lay out a lot better, but just to keep this quick and dirty, I'm going to put it right in here. Inside we have this blank template that we use just to quickly compose emails, not just blank emails. And I'm not sure what this is about, so I'll probably get rid of that. We are going to say hello, get rid of all these things here. Yeah, the document editor in here is not nearly as good as the one when you create it in the document center. But we'll see how this looks when we actually send it. But this can get, it's a quick and dirty way to send out these emails. Say, hi, client name. Thank you for adding your credit card on file. Adding your card on file. We are excited to start services with you. Start your services. To better serve you, we would ask you to please fill out our client intake form so we can send notes to our crews and better understand your needs. The form, to fill out the form, and then the code here is going to be form link. So whatever you put here is going to pull the form that you put in the settings over there. See you, talk to you soon. All right. So this is going to send them the link to fill out the form once they add their credit card on file. All right. So I'm going to save that. So now, just to reiterate where we're at with this, when they update their card, when leads update their card for the very first time, when a lead comes in, it will send them this email, and we'll continue following the sequence that we're setting up now until they fill out the form. So this is how we can set the reminders and reminders. So what we can do here is wait it. We can wait. We'll wait and see if they fill it out. Maybe we'll wait 3 days. Days 3. And we're going to send a second email here. And this one is going to be called request 2. And we'll say delete all this here. We may end up putting these in the document editor later. Like I said, they don't always format nicely when you type them right up inside the automation. It's just a quicker way to get it done. We just wanted to remind you to fill out our client intake form. So we have information. We have the information we need on file to better serve, to best serve you. To fill out the form, click here. Please let us know if you have any questions. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. This is all a rough draft, by the way. I'm just doing it quickly for the purpose of this video. I'll go back in and kind of fine tune some of this stuff. But I just wanted to show you guys how all this stuff connects together. To fill out our client intake form, so better serve you. Cool. Fill the form, click here. All right, save. So now we got one intake form. We have the follow-up going out. Probably wait another few days. Maybe we'll wait a day. And then I'm going to try sending them a text. And then lastly, I'm going to create a ticket for the office to call them. Excuse me, text message we're going to drag over here now, turn this on. Text reminder, we'll call this. And we'll do oops to the client. And it's important to set times in the text messages, especially, or you can make people angry. Don't ask me how I know that. Custom text, text body. This will be, hey, client F name. So that's client first name. We were just waiting for you to fill out our client intake form. Did you receive the email? So the great thing about these automations is that it really forces your crews, excuse me, your office staff to work, because they may not take the initiative to reach out to the client to have that customer service. But when you shoot out open-ended questions like this, the client's going to respond. And now your office staff can't ignore that. It's like the phone rings, they have to pick it up. It's much easier to have people be reactive than proactive. So if you send out, if the automation fires out, like nothing happens here, it's going to be all automated. It's going to text the client. They can't not respond to a text message the client sends. You know what I mean? It's much easier to ask them to respond than expect them to reach out. So that's what a lot of this automation does. It instigates activity. It makes you have to react to it. So then we get the text, and then we'll wait. And if they still don't respond to it, we're going to create a ticket to call them, right? Ticket. This one's going to be call client, call lead. Category, administrative. Type, note, and then subject. This is the most important, most visible thing you're going to see. We're going to pick who this is assigned to. Subject is going to say call lead and fill out client intake form. And we'll give them 7 days to get that done. Ticket contents. So same thing here. We can do client F name, client L name, which is their last name, has not filled out the client intake form. Please call the client at, and just make sure it's right, client cell phone number, to and fill out the form with them over the phone. Cool. So this form can be filled out on the client level as well. And I'm actually going to add in the address, physical address here. And I'm going to put it up here. So I'll say Joe Schmo at 1 Main Street. It's not filled out. The intake form. Please call client and fill out the form with them over the phone. And right here, I'll just add in form name. It's going to be 03. Oopsies, 03. What's the name of this thing? Client intake form. Awesome. So that wraps all this stuff up. I'm going to save this here. So just to finalize and reiterate all this, so a lead comes in. When they update their credit card, which means they're officially a client, we're then going to ask them to fill out the intake form, ask them to fill out the intake form. We're going to text them to fill it out, and then if they don't, we're going to call them to fill it out. So now we're at the point where we have all this information on file, all the tags are saved, it's all accessible on the client level with all the tags and all that. And then beyond this, for now, that's all we're going to do for the moment. But we can build out all sorts of automations around this, marketing, to people who have pets, all the dispatch stuff, the contact preference. But we'll build off that down the road. For now, I just wanted to get these intake forms filled out. So lastly, I'm going to go into our temp here, And I'm going to add in, we actually had a welcome email, but that already went out, which would have been a good place to do this. So we're going to do, we're going to just do clients here. Intake form. This is our temp one, where we're just going to send things out once. We're not going to allow reentry. Probably do trigger type is going to be date. Run on date. We can send this like, it doesn't really matter, next week. And we're not going to send to all of our clients. We're just going to send to ones that have had a service. Let's see, scheduled maybe. This package scheduled, check all, and we'll also add on service, recurring job scheduled, check all. So this is going to run the date, and they have to have these services running for it to run, so they're basically enrolled in services with us. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I might change this a little bit when I end the video, but just for the sake of getting this done. Intake form, and then we're going to do something very similar to what we just did here with these intake form requests. So it's going to be the same thing, it's just going to send it out once. I'm going to word it a little bit differently, but that's how I'm going to do that with this this temporary one-time client email blast. So yeah, that's the end of this tutorial series, part 1, 2, 3. If you guys are interested, I'll keep doing this because we're building this out anyway. What we usually do is we build this for ourselves, and then what we do is we tell our clients about it. We work on these build packages with our clients, monthly, weekly, bi-weekly. Sometimes the idea comes from our clients, sometimes the ideas come from ourselves. This one came from myself. But once this is built out and finalized, I'll put this in the marketplace. It's all ready to go, it can be downloaded, and then we'll offer it to our clients. Say, hey, do you want us to set this up in your account? How do you want it to work? We make little tweaks for them and things like that. So I hope this was valuable. There's tons of information in here. If you guys want to do it yourselves, awesome. If you need any help, feel free to reach out. Thanks for watching.